They'll run down the hill in one of the most storied entrances in all of college football. Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina, home to the Tigers since 1945. A couple of teams trying to stake their claim to being among the best in the country in this top 25 showdown we have in store. As we'll see, the number 15 team in the country, the Florida Gators, taking on the 13th ranked team in the land, the Clemson Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. And the Gators will get us underway with the opening kickoff. So much for the touchback. Here he comes. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Looking for a productive play on first down. They go to the ground, and they try to run inside, and there is nowhere to go. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season, that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
Yeah, and you don't see very many quarterback hits on screens. You know, the offense wants to bluff real quick and make it look like pass, and the quarterback's supposed to pop up, look like pass, and quickly get rid of it. You could tell timing all wrong. It was all jacked up, and that play went absolutely nowhere.
We make up the game plan, and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. From the gun, wants to pass. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, they try to throw for it there on 3rd down on the opening drive of the game. They don't get it, but let's punt the ball away. Let's trust our defense. And, guys, let's also trust this home field advantage and the crowd to get loud and make it real difficult on our opponent.
He gets a block. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Running behind that left side. And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
Makes the catch. It's Davis.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Here comes the option. He'll toss it. They'll finally make the tackle, but that option was executed to perfection.
This offense knew coming into this one, guys, how important it was to start early. And on this opening drive for them, they're doing a nice job running the football. They're on 3rd down. They're in a position on the field now. If you're on defense, you got to be ready for a shot throw into the end zone.
Now the crowd responding in the red zone, trying to help this defense. Right back to the well. Drives into the defense, and they get him down after a pickup of 3 to the 16.
Yeah, and the running back didn't get much here, but, you know, you clearly want to always establish the tempo, run the football, be consistent, make that defense physically meet the challenge.
He'll pull it on the read. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
This defense really has their hands full of guys. They got to play with great eye discipline because they don't know who's going to be keeping the football in the run game. And that time, you saw the QB. He was able to kind of skirt his way and get some positive yards.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. On the option. He'll pitch it. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. Third down, and this crowd will blow out a vocal cord to help this defense. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. This crowd knows this defense needs them right now. Little touch pass to the receiver. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
Out of the gun, the running back has it. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
On third down, he drops the throw. Working the middle, it's complete. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one. But we know who he really wants to go to on third down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer. But you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
Well, they're trying to get that run play going to the outside, but it's the defensive end who does a great job winning his one-on-one and forcing the negative play.
Couldn't get him blocked on that last one. Now it's 2nd and 14. Quarterback will audible. On 2nd down, he'll let it fly. And that pressure just engulfed him. A sack for this defense. He was lurking, waiting for his opportunity, and like a gator in the swamp, he went into the roll and got that quarterback.
They did, and I tell you what, when you want to be dominant in this league, if Florida wants to get back to being a dominant team, it's got to be guys like this in the trenches dominating football games.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
You got to give the defense tons of credit because we know how much speed this quarterback has. That time you saw the pursuit. They were able to bring him down for a big loss on the sack.
Clemson will send the punt team out. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Looking everywhere for room to run, but really good coverage, and he'll step out of bounds. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They kicked a field goal on the last drive, Jesse. They've got the lead. Don't make a dumb mistake, but maintain your aggressive play call.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's the play caller right now just taking a look at that script he's got in front of him and finding out where are my playmakers, who can we take advantage of on this defense to get a touchdown here, Dave.
Yeah, and just keep moving the ball down the field. Just execute a little bit better in the red zone. There's no need to panic. We're moving the football, and we got the lead.
A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score, Florida 3, Clemson.
They've changed ends of the field, now facing third down as they go back to work. From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and fourth down's coming.
Oh, you know what time it is when the defense gets that stop on third down. Fist up in the air. Nice job getting to the quarterback, putting some pressure on him, hitting him, forcing the incompletion. Fourth down, baby.
Boots' first of the day away was called on 4 times in the victory last week.
And that is a huge play in terms of field position. Nice job by the punter. And how about the gunners getting downfield and down that ball?
Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
On first down, here comes this offense. Hold it, finds his man on the left.
This guy's gotten off to a good statistical start, guys, but that last completion, he's already now over 1,000 passing yards on the season, and man, you know he's looking for more.
Kept it on the ground on first down, now back to the line. Looking to throw on second down. He's got it down the middle. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
Let's see what they have in the bag on third and short from their own 18. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And it's a great play by the defensive end. The most athletic players on the field play defensive end. Yes, you heard me, Jess, Reese. Exactly what I said. Great get off. Great job getting in the backfield, making the play.
And the returner is stopped.
And the Florida offense will take over first and 10.
The Gators sending the offense back to work. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3 and out, Jesse.
He just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
Off the play fake. Fires toward the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Gators.
Touchdown.
And you want these guys that can take the top off of defense. It changes the way they're going to play coverage on you, and he does it right here. Just runs by the DB. He had no chance to try to catch up with him. Makes the big play down the field. And this will change the way you play defense against this guy the rest of the game.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, right back to your game after we update the nation on this one. Northern Illinois delivered the type of thrashing generally reserved for homecoming games in the Cobb. Thing is, this sucker was a road victory, and a win like this is going to resonate throughout the MAC. It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way, but I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. They are trailing by 10 here, Jesse, but this is the type of team that seems comfortable in an offensive shootout.
You got to hold serve at this point, right? You got to drive the field, put some more points up on the board. Yeah, they just scored. You can answer that now and keep this thing close.
And I think you're used to that as offense. Like, football is so fast-paced now and you score so quickly, it's not that big of a deal to get down 10. You, keep being aggressive.
He's looking for an open man on second down. Grab near the marker. It's Sharp. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down.
Yeah, and you gotta love those matchups. When you get a running back matched up on somebody else, it's never going to be a cornerback. That's not going to happen. So finding a good matchup, getting that speed isolated, now I'm going to go attack and make some plays.
They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. From the gun to give, looking for room. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Well, the most insightful analysis I can come up with on that one is that didn't work. Back to the drawing board to see if there's something that works a little better soon.
Or if I can quote the great Reese Davis, that was very ungood. Not a productive first down play.
After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12. They're bringing heat. And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes.
And the defense gets a huge play. I'll tell you, they've been wreaking havoc in this one so far. They've got so many athletes up front on this defensive line. It kind of reminds me about the defenses I used to go against in practice back in the late 90s. Guys like Javon Curse coming off the edge. The freak. It was a nightmare. So hard for our guys to block. We felt like game day was easier than what we faced in practice. And I tell you, this D-line by the Gators, what they got this year, they are special.
Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
Really good job by the defense, understanding third down, the situation in the game. I play a little bit deeper, take away the sticks, react to shorter. I got to go get him on the ground now. Nice job making the tackle, but playing the down and distance first, and now forcing a 4th down.
Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking. Everything went well, Palmer. They executed and got the touchdown.
And they really were in a nice rhythm as well. And I'd love to see that here on the next drive, too. Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything seems to be working, and you seem to have this defense on their heels.
6-yard pickup on 1st down. Leaves them with 2nd and 4. They'll run it to the right side. 1-step wrap, 2-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. We saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical.
Now staring at a 3rd and short from the 40. And he'll be taken down, but he does have enough for the 1st down.
That has got to feel good if you're this offense picking up that 1st down by running it, because we know the struggles they've had this season, particularly on 3rd down. So to come out here, run the ball, keep the drive alive, let's see if they can generate a little bit of momentum.
The Gators will line it up on 1st and 10. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have one remaining in the half. Now they'll line it up from the 44 on 1st and 10. He wants to throw. Going up top. And it's picked off at the goal line. That's a way to make a stand. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
QB never saw the defender. He's staring his receiver down, telegraphing his throw, and the DB jumped all over that.
Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Running out of time here in the first half, and they do have a chance to make this a one-possession game.
And so you got to locate your best players and get them the football on this drive. You're down in the game. There's obviously a lot of football left, David, but on this drive, in this 2-minute situation, best players got to touch the ball.
And this could get into pressing mode, right? Like you go into the half down a couple of scores, it starts to, the pressure really, really mounts. Good opportunity to take some of that pressure off, get some momentum, energize this squad going into halftime.
Now facing 2nd and 10 from their own 1, and the defense frothing to keep them bottled up. He hurls one deep down the left side. It's complete. A huge pickup. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. Not the most productive half for this offense so far, but finally starting to get it in gear. 1st and 10. Quick pass on the jet motion. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
Offense gets set for 2nd down. He's looking to throw. They're working that left side. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the 1st down.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Pulls it in. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson.
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
And with the extra point, the lead is cut to 3. It's 10-7. So they got the touchdown, now going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. From inside the 15, chance for a good return. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Gators sending the offense back to work. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after a pick.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out. You got to call your plays, and I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw at this drive.
And a really good job by the quarterback being very decisive. He saw his matchup. matchup. He went for it. He attacked it, got the positive gain. I would say he's going to find that guy a few more times today.
Using the back as a receiver on the screen. He makes the stop, but a nice pickup there on first down leaves them in second and manageable. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. They'll run the option. And the defense makes the tackle, and that ought to do it here in the first half.
Gain of 2. And first down for the offense.
That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
With the score, Florida 10, Clemson 7.
Ready to start the second half, and Clemson will kick it away. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. And in a low-scoring game like this one, David, every possession is magnified.
And I think more than anything, it just gets frustrating. And you got to put that behind you. You got to see what this defense has been doing to be so successful. Caller, now use it against them.
Yeah, David, I think for a play caller, this is tough, right? It's like you have to have the perfect play on just to get a first down. In these types of games, I think you're just trying to get guys out in space, see if a dude can break a tackle, and maybe that generates an explosive play, and it breaks this trend.
And how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense, because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. And he is snowed under, sacked at the 7.
Nice job by this defense. That's the way to set the tone in the second half. First drive, get them in a third down, get the sack, get the football to your offense. That is how you get back in this game really quickly.
The Gators will try to pin them back with the punt. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. Line gets set, first down. They're going to open this drive with a pass. They've got the screen set up. Not able to break the big one on that screen to the running back, but he found enough and a solid pickup on first down.
Well, a nice gainer on that running back screen. Now, how about the offensive line getting downfield and getting blocks to really help out the back, find some space to go to work?
From the gun, the running back looking for room. And they'll bring him down, but not before he picks up the first down.
You don't always have to run the sexy plays, right? It doesn't have to always be up-tempo and fast and spread and doing all this stuff. Sometimes you just lower your shoulder. Sometimes you just run powerfully. You get the first down, and that's all that matters.
Now they've moved it just inside the 40. First and 10 from the 39. They'll try the run. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. He's looking to throw. And he intercepts it. He would have loved to make the big return there, but he still gives his team the ball at the 37.
Well, how about that? I mean, they knew this defense was good defending the pass, but that had more to do with who's in the secondary, not necessarily who's up front. David, his best Pollock impersonation, picking that one off.
Yeah, baby, you don't get many opportunities to drop and cut.
Hit the gas, kid. Wide open ahead. Oh, and the defense in chase mode, and they finally get him down at the 35. They move the chains on the ground. Now another first down. They'll give it to him again. They get him before he gets started this time and knock him down in the backfield.
On the play. Brings up second down.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. They're going to test that run defense to the right here.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for him.
This is the type of play that decides games. Are you tough enough to convert 3rd and short from the 30? From the gun, wants to pass. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. The offense somehow fell on it, and they'll retain possession.
Well, ball security doesn't just apply to running backs and receivers. QB's got to keep 2 hands on the ball as well. And they're very lucky after that fumble that the offense jumped them.
And the Gators will punt it away on 4th down. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. Fourth down, and the punt team sends it the other way. You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. The sledding has been tough. Scores have been at a premium, Jesse, and every possession seems like it could switch the momentum of the game.
Yeah, Reese, for this offense, just feels like they just haven't been as physical. And for this offensive coordinator, David, he's having to go deep into the playbook just to try to generate a first down.
Well, and the good thing is there's not a ton of game pressure because the other side's not scoring either. But if you can find that one thing that get that one positive play, and then maybe you get those juices going, and something can start to build.
They opened up this drive, getting all the way out to the 35, and now it's first down again. Motion trying to get the defense to show its hand. Runs through the tackle. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. He's looking to throw. Grabbed behind the line. It's Sharp. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
How about the job and recognition by the defense? They knew exactly what they were trying to set up, and they had multiple defenders surrounding that intended target so that there was nowhere for him to go once he caught the ball.
When you've already set your punter out 4 times, at least he knows he's going to get his varsity letter, and his leg might get a bigger workout if they don't convert. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
That is a gut punch if you're the offense because they're in dime personnel. They're only rushing 4 guys. You've got 5 offensive linemen. You've got the option of bringing other people in to help give your QB time. And this offense, not good enough.
And the return man couldn't get to it to make the catch, and the ball will bounce out of bounds. The Gators sending the offense back to work. It has been a complete uphill struggle for both of these offenses, Jesse.
It sure has. At this point, David, someone's just going to have to step up and make a play. Someone's got to break.
Off he goes. Just gashing this defense, a big gainer to the 40-yard line.
Well, the defense knew coming into this one, Reese, that this team was going to try to use their speed and take advantage of it, and they did right there. Nice gain on the run play to the right.
Found plenty of running room in that defense. They've got to find a way to get there and make the tackle in the open field.
Yeah, and they got to do a good job with their eyes, finding the football, and they've got to get a lot of bodies to this guy because he is fast.
And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
They'll line up for a second down play. Fast motion from the offense. Leaves it with the back. Productive 4-yard gain there on the ground as he gets it down to the 31.
I think you run that play so you stay out of third and long. Third and long is not where an offense ever wants to thrive. Third and medium, hey, I'm good with that. So you run that play to make sure you're set up for a good third down.
That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on third down.
When you play defensive end, it's all about getting off the football. You can tell, gets off the football really fast, gets in the backfield, gets the running back before he knows what hit him. What a play by the defensive end.
On fourth down, they'll throw for it. Makes the grab well past the sticks. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down.
You know, you always talk about risk-reward. Gambling and going for it with the lead on fourth down right there and getting it, the reward could be winning the game. That was an unbelievable play. And how about this coaching staff putting their faith in their players to come up with the execution and make it happen?
Yeah, and he's shown you a little bit of everything today. Shows you why he's a really good back, and the line's paved some holes, and he's right at 99 yards. And the way this game's going with the lead, he's going to get a few more touches, break that century mark, and when you do, you have a great chance of winning football games.
Headed to the end zone, and he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Florida! The proverbial rabbit out of the hat. Getting out of the Houdini-like blocks, calling reverse and trickeration, and it worked.
It does, and it's frustrating because defensively you're thinking run, 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 and you're playing aggressive, and on that backside, man, you got to stay home, you got to be alert, you got to do your job. When you don't, here comes the reverse, here comes the touchdown.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Notre Dame is trailing right now, but they are not out of this. I remember Rocket Ismail wake up the echoes all by himself. Let's see if this group can come back. It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to Western Kentucky. We'll circle back if anything big happens you need to know about.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. Don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
Last incompletion leaves them still sitting at their own 25 with 2nd and 10. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. Wants to fire on 2nd down. This one's complete. That's some old school, hard-nosed, tough running as he powers his way to the 30.
This offense has their work cut out for him, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
This is where you make the money on the drives. Ball at the 30, it's 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Quickly complete. Nice pitch and catch there, and they'll have enough for the first down. They absolutely had to have that third down to keep any glimmer of hope alive.
And defensively, that's exactly what I want. Make you get to third down. The clock is your enemy. Multiple possession lead. That is right where I want this offense.
Pulls it and fires to the left. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
You just get the feeling this defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead, it's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going to have to really work for this and be smart. You got to attack the sidelines. You got to throw first downs. You got to keep this thing moving vertically down the field.
They're going to throw it again. He's going to fire deep. And that ball is picked off. Takes it the other way. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. And the senior just took that one out of the air and sends it the other way.
It doesn't get any better for your defense. You know exactly the situation in the fourth quarter. Everything in your favor. Don't let them make big plays. How about you make a big play? Nice job getting the interception. It's not icing on the cake yet, but it's getting pretty close.
And a 9-yard gain on first down leaves them with second and short.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
The Gators have enough for the first down.
Well, it's an offense that prides themselves on being physical. No mystery there. You need 1 yard, turn around, hand it off, let them go to work.
Offense lines up for a 1st and 10 from the 43. They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. At the 45, on its way. And this defense was flailing as he weaved his way and got down to the 26.
I bet that running back's eyes got so big when he gets that handoff going to the right and he sees the huge holes. Yes, please.
The defense just didn't flow quickly enough. All of the blockers had leverage on their men.
Man, that defensive line has to get off the ball a little bit better, get some penetration to stop that outside run.
Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Touch pass on the right. And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the first down.
It's so important this offense is able to get this guy the ball in space, especially on the perimeter of the field. And I love that last play call because he's able to get outside and use his speed. To me, that's where this guy is his most dangerous.
We've reached a 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. To have any chance in the world, this defense has to come up with a stop on 1st and goal. Goes to the option. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches.
And the offense is doing probably exactly what you want. What do we need to do? We need to run clock. We got the lead. We're in a good situation to get points. Now, tick, 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 tick. The clock is my friend.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. 3rd and goal coming up here. And he'll be brought down. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. And that is no good. Lead is still in double digits, but missed a chance to make it bigger.
And that's just a chip shot. That's just a field goal they got to make, guys.
Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. They're starting to feel a little desperation here, David. They just can't press yet.
Hey, it's go.
Snatches it on the right. He's off to the races. And they pick up a better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down. Trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. Looking for a physical attack from the gun.
And these RPOs always put the defense in a bind. But listen, you give up the run and get a short little gain. No harm, no foul.
Operating in the red zone here on second down. Got his man quickly. That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. You know, David, this is really what game managing is. Nice pickup on second down to help them on the next play.
Yeah, and I think people look at that negative sometimes, finding a quarterback that's a game manager. No, use your brain. Set up good situations. I'm way more successful when I can keep those sticks at a more manageable situation, and I'm not as predictable on a third down.
Well, look what we have here, guys. After all the early season doubts, these guys have put together a winning streak.
They sure have, and man, they're just believing in themselves right now. This is a completely different looking team than what we saw early in the year. They're playing with so much more confidence, and David, when you start making plays, you start stringing W's together, that's obviously what happens.
Everybody gets energized. Everybody starts to contribute. Young guys start to grow up. Coaches start to believe in them. Everything